What's up, guys?
Hi!
Welcome to another video.
Howdy.
We're always real awkward at these intros.
You gotta get through the intro. Well, welcome to a new video. As you can see by the title, we're doing a Q&A. We asked you guys for questions on our Instagram stories, and you delivered. We have so many.
Tons of questions.
And it's stressing me out because I want to, answer them all, but we'll literally sit here for 5 hours, probably.
For sure. There's probably at least 200 questions on here, and you probably have even more. And
we started to just skim through them, and there are some kind of,
Duplicates.
Commonly asked questions, so we'll try to just cover things by categories, but yeah, I guess we'll just dive right into it because we don't want to beat around the bush.
Yeah, so I guess I'm going to start with the very first question I got on my Instagram.
Oh yeah, I scrolled down to the very bottom because we want to answer the first ones.
So it says, do you want to have kids anytime soon? And that's a really commonly asked one that I saw so many times. But,
no! I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, we're not going to have kids ever.
Yeah. How about today?
Yeah. Whenever we have a kid, we'll have a kid.
Yeah.
I'm down now, tomorrow, the next day,
yesterday,
next year, whenever. So bring on the babies.
We can't wait to have babies.
We each get baby fever in different waves, and we're like, we should just have a kid. What do we...
Oh no, I'm having it right now. Should we turn off the camera?
It's getting hot in here.
Okay, next question. My first question was, why don't you guys wear hiking boots? Love from Australia.
You're wearing hiking boots right now.
I only wear my hiking boots when I'm not hiking, duh.
Yeah, they're for Q&As only.
No, actually, I've hiked many hikes with these Doc Martens. These are my oldest pair, and they're amazing. But yeah, I don't know, we wear Converse all the time too.
Just whatever's comfy. And
Bryce
a lot of
people
say, oh, how do you hike in Converse? They're so uncomfortable. But I actually get these. They're called the CTAS Pro, and they're like a skate Converse, so they have a little bit thicker insole. Really comfortable. I've been wearing them for however many years now. And yeah, so check them out. Might be your new hiking shoe.
Oh, you do the next one. We'll just go back and forth.
Okay, we're just going to go up the list a little bit. What is your favorite ice cream place in Minnesota?
Tip Top Dairy Bar.
Yeah, there's a little ice cream / restaurant maybe 10 miles away from us.
It's really small. It's in a tiny town called Osakis, and
it's only open May through September. Yeah. It's seasonal, but they have
really good ice cream and really good hot dogs.
Yeah, I was gonna say chili dogs.
We did vlog there once.
Yeah, I think we had that in the vlog.
And we tried the cowboy bites for the first time.
Yeah.
They're so good.
We're gonna have to get those soon now. All right.
Next one. Favorite pizza toppings. Love all the questions about pizza.
Yeah, there's a lot of pizza questions for sure.
That's so hard. I really love all pizza. Oh, there's a cat. Sorry, I just got really distracted.
I thought it was Lou.
I know, it looks just like Lou. So we're actually, we're in the VW bus, and we're parked in our backyard, but there's a kitty walking down the alley. Aw. Okay.
Back to pizza topping.
Back to pizza.
How about you have to guess mine and I have to guess yours?
Yours is pepperoni.
Just classic, straight up. Yours would be sausage green olive combo.
Yeah.
Combo
I
toppings.
love sausage green olive. And then I equally love white sauce pizzas too, though.
Oh,
a chicken bacon ranch pizza has a little spot in my heart. So.
Yeah. Did I ask that one or you?
I did.
I'm like, there's so many, I don't even know where to go.
Yeah, we just gotta shuffle them.
Okay, do you guys fight? You seem pretty perfect on YouTube. That was also asked a lot, if we fight or get in arguments.
All the time. I'm just kidding.
But not.
No. So we have kind of a unique job where we do this, social media stuff full time now. So we literally spend 24/7 with each other. So that's bound to build up some kind of tension on some days. Yeah. And we're not perfect, so we do have our little
headbutting moments where we're disagreeing on something.
And it can be over the most stupid thing too. And
yeah.
Then the next day we're like, okay, that was dumb. And then we make up.
I think I'm gonna tie in another one that I saw a little bit further up on this, but it was how do you like get over arguments and who says sorry first.
Oh.
So we'll tie that in because like
I say sorry first.
False. So false. I'm the one who comes in and gives you a nice little back scratch and I'm like, oh,
I know.
sorry.
How do you just kind of get over it so quick? Like, I feel like if I'm mad about something, I just like bury myself in the bed and I dwell on it for a day.
Yeah, Hailey doesn't like to talk about it. She likes to just like sit on it and just wait for a few hours to days to get over it.
Hours to days.
And I'm like, I want to like talk about it, get it over with, and just move on with our
Yeah.
day. So I try to like.
And then I think in the moment of me being mad, I'm like, you can't just apologize that fast. You don't mean it. And then I get more. I don't know. Anybody else like that too?
A little bit stubborn.
Yeah, and then a couple days pass, and I'm like, that was so stupid. So, I don't know. That's just a part of life, and we figure it out. Okay,
we
next
do our
question.
best.
My favorite national park. Oh, that's fitting. I got my Park Ranger Peach hat on.
There you go.
Probably Zion.
Without a question. We got married
If you know,
there.
you know. Oh, you just gave it away.
Oh. You were going to leave that? Like,
If you know, you know, and you're just like, we got married there. Okay, your turn.
Least favorite food? Tofu.
That's true.
Yeah.
I've been trying to make tofu in a way that Bryce would like it, and he doesn't.
It's just the texture of it, like, kind of, like, weirds me out. It's like eating Jell-O, but it's, like, savory, because you kind of do...
Yeah.
The last one you did was, like, teriyaki tofu.
Mhm.
I just can't do it. I don't know.
I'm really trying to think. I used to be really picky about mushrooms and peas.
You still kind of don't like peas.
Yeah, they're just so... The texture is so weird.
Yeah, texture thing, right?
Yeah, I don't know. But a couple years ago, I decided, because I used to pick mushrooms off everything, and then I was like, I hate being picky about mushrooms. Like, I don't want to be that person. So then I'm like, I'm going to just start eating mushrooms whenever they are present. That sounded weird.
And now you like mushrooms.
And now I like mushrooms. So it grew on me. And, I used to hate, this isn't a food, but I despised, like, sparkling waters, like LaCroix and
yeah,
stuff.
now you're super into it.
The start of last year, I randomly was just like, I love them. So, I guess it changes as you get older.
Yeah, for sure. You got another one on deck?
How did you guys meet / start dating?
Well.
We have, like, a weird story.
So, we grew up in the same town area, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of the same friend group. Knew of each other throughout high school and everything.
Yeah.
And, yeah, eventually it just worked out where we crossed paths and are together now.
Wow, that is very vague.
Very summarized and skipped all the other
I don't know,
details.
there's a lot of juicy details
The other details
about
of
it.
me dating your best friend prior and you having a boyfriend when I was going after you and like
There's
that
a
stuff.
lot.
A lot of time had to pass before we finally realized, hey, you and
You're
I
my soulmate.
meant to be. Right?
Yeah.
Does that work?
Maybe we'll dive into the whole story. Honestly, when we've like told our friends our story on how we met and everything, like I feel like we tell the story for an hour.
Yeah.
Like, there's
I feel
so
like
many layers.
that could
to
be
it.
a whole separate video. Maybe we'll have to do that.
Yeah,
someday.
do you guys want a very juicy story time? Alright, but yeah, we basically lived in the same town and we met in like high school and then
Yeah. The rest is history.
started dating once you were off in college and came back home. Oh no, I'm starting. Okay.
Okay,
on to the
another
next.
video, but yeah, it's a long story. My turn?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have any other jobs other than YouTube? That's another one I saw a lot. Like, is YouTube your only job? Like, what do you guys do
I have
for
a lot
work?
of those too. If this is like what we do full time.
Yeah, so we do YouTube and like Instagram, social media, photos. You model in photos and stuff like that.
Yeah, we do a lot of like
full-time.
brand partnerships. We create photo and video content for our brands to use for their own marketing and yeah, it's a crazy world, but this is what we do full time now. If you told me that 10 years ago, wait, that's making me sound old.
Yeah, that wouldn't seem like it'd be a thing 10 years ago, but
yeah, I would have never imagined that this is like how we would support ourselves financially, but that's just where our paths led, and it's been really great. And
yeah.
if it doesn't last forever, that's fine with us too. We always just kind of go with the flow.
And to kind of tie it in, like, how it happened for us, because I saw that as another question, like, how did you get into that, or, like, what did you do before?
Mm-hmm.
And before that, like, Hailey shot photos for weddings, and I started filming weddings,
Mm-hmm.
and then we started doing that kind of, like, together as a little team.
Yeah, when we first started dating.
And then that was before our YouTube channel or Instagram really was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And as we kind of built up shooting those weddings, we saved a little money and decided we'll go on a road trip. And then we brought all of our...
I'm so sorry.
Well, the cat just, like, came out of the trunk of that car.
Okay, side note. So the cat that we saw earlier, there's, like, a really old car across the alley that's just, like, a old classic
Fixer-upper.
Yeah, and there's no headlights in the back. And the cat... there's no taillights in the back. And the cat just popped out of the...
Like, it goes straight into the trunk. So he was in the trunk through the taillight.
And now he's just like Lou.
Oh, that's
oh
really
my gosh.
funny. Lou and him could be friends. All right.
Lou is antisocial with cats.
Back to the question.
Yeah, but we shot weddings full time.
Yeah, so we shot weddings full time, and then we went on a road trip and brought all that camera gear with us, took photos and stuff. And that was right around the time that brands started to, like, email us and be like, hey, we want you to shoot photos for our clothing or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that just snowballed and got to a point where...
And we didn't even get paid to start. Yeah. They were just like, hey, we'll send you, like, this box full of clothing. Could you just shoot some photos for us? And we're like, free clothes?
Well,
like,
Hailey
that's so
was like,
cool.
free clothes.
You guys know I love clothes.
But yeah, eventually those gigs started to become paid gigs, and that snowballed and eventually reached a tipping point where we could make the same amount doing those jobs as we were working 20 weddings in a summer. Mm-hmm. And working part-time jobs. Hailey worked at a coffee shop.
When we were doing weddings full-time, like, there was sometimes we did a wedding every single weekend, if not, like, maybe 2 weddings per weekend, and we were working, like, part-time jobs. So I worked at, like, a clothing store at one point, and then also, like, a coffee shop.
I worked at a restaurant as a cook for
That's
a long time.
why he's so good at cooking.
And while we were doing those weddings, I think eventually, like, we stopped those part-time jobs, and then, like, it was full wedding for, like, a little bit, and then we stopped the weddings, and then it was full, like, Instagram, YouTube, kind of, like, content creation stuff. And then it's been that ever since, what, like, 2019?
2018 was the first year that we, like, completely cleared our calendar. I feel like this answer was all so long, but, yeah, 2018 was the first year that we just didn't do any weddings, and we just went out on a limb. We're like, okay, we're gonna leave our calendars open for any possible, like, brand opportunities or travel opportunities. And
and that was part of it too, is like those opportunities come up so short notice that, like, weddings are planned so in advance that we just couldn't balance the both of them anymore.
The last year we did weddings was the first time that we started to see emails come in like, hey, we'd love to have you come out to this resort and shoot photos and, like, some really cool, like, location or something. And that was mind-blowing. Actually, no, the first one I got was I was invited to a music festival to just, like, shoot photos, and I could go to that music festival for free. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I love music festivals. But then it was so short notice that I had a wedding, like, already booked that weekend, so I had to say no. And that I remember that distinctly as my first, like,
that stung a little bit, and we're like, oh, we could...
I was like, wait, this could be a thing. So that's why the next year we decided to just leave our calendar open. And then 2018 and 2019 were the 2 years that we traveled the most in our whole lives. Like, we put our trust in it, and it was so much traveling, which that's what we documented a lot of here on our YouTube channel, and made some of the best memories. And
so if you're wondering, like, how we kind of travel so much and it seems like we're always someplace new, a lot of those opportunities were, like, for work or jobs with different brands and companies.
It all tied in with, like, shooting stuff to give to people.
Like, we've worked with Pureveda, we've worked with different airlines, we've worked with different hotels, and all of those things are kind of travel opportunities. So that worked out super awesome to be able to go somewhere new. But also, like, that wasn't all coming right out of our savings account to do all those trips, which was like super lucky for us. And
for the most part, a lot of those travel opportunities, we weren't really getting paid. It was almost like the trip was in exchange for, you know, what we would deliver to them. So it's not like we really made much money off that either, but that was just more for the experience. Like we got to see so much of the world in those 2 years.
Yeah, and that together. Was like the best trade ever. So definitely.
And it was just, we fell into it at the right time. Like we weren't seeking it out. We weren't like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think we just answered maybe like 10 questions that have been on here.
Sorry, we went on a long tangent.
But hey, there you go. So I guess we'll just move on to something else now. Okay. I'm sure we're going to come back to another question that ties into that.
I have a lot of questions about if we sell our Lightroom presets. Sorry, I just burped. No, we don't. But, man, I've gone on a roller coaster of like feeling like I was ready to release my presets, and then I just never did because something didn't feel like, I kind of am a perfectionist about them, and I feel like I'm constantly changing the presets I use. So I don't know, I never committed to releasing them, and I feel bad because in the past I've been like, all right, I'm gonna come up with my presets, and then I never did. I flaked. So I'm sorry. Maybe one day we'll see. Yeah, but now I can't put any more promises out there because I have in the past.
You put too many out. And...
if it happens, it happens, but I don't know. All right. I also edit, if you guys just use like the VSCO app, I edit photos on there too all the time. VSCO has amazing filters, so that's a good alternative.
Here's a quick one. Can we hang out? Yes.
Yeah.
We can. That was from
Honestly, it's
Diego.
My favorite thing when people that watch our channel like come up and say hey.
Oh yeah, that's so cool. Meeting people that like are inspired by our video or something, or have watched it and like
it's
from
just
that
so
have gone on a road trip or like gone on a cool adventure or something.
And it's just like this instant connection where it's like you feel like you're already friends with them. Like we just have such a cool community here on our channel.
Or like when people message how like they watched one of our road trip videos and they're gonna do a similar route and like want like some hot spots along the way or like food recommendations. I'm like, oh, that's sick.
It's a cool feeling because
Are you okay?
Yeah, sorry. I had a bubble in my throat. It's a cool feeling because in the moment of us doing those road trips and everything, like I feel like we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, we're kind of just
like we're
winging
not
it.
Professionals at all. So then to see other people get inspired off of like what we managed to figure out,
for sure,
it's kind of cool.
Did you guys go to college? Is the next question I'm seeing.
I did not. I was homeschooled all the way up until I graduated in 2013, and then I just jumped right into doing freelance photography around my town, and that's what I made a little job out of.
Yeah, and after I graduated in 2012, I went to like an art institute school for videography, and I feel like the program just wasn't for me. It was more targeted towards like writing scripts and learning about like Hollywood productions and things like that. And I made it about a year and a half before
I want to film skateboarding.
I was kind of over it, and I dropped out and bought my own camera gear and started taking on weddings, and yeah, the rest is history.
You learned more just doing it out in the field than you probably did at college.
Yeah, so if anyone out there is like looking to like get into photography or videography, just like dive in. Buy a camera that you can afford, use your iPhone, whatever, just like film, take pictures.
Use YouTube to your advantage.
Yeah,
you can learn everything on YouTube. Like we wouldn't even be driving around in this bus if it wasn't for YouTube. Like the amount of hours Bryce has sat and watched videos all about Volkswagen motors and everything on YouTube. It's insane. Like you can learn so much.
And then tying it back into like video, like all the editing for all of our videos, I've learned everything from YouTube. Yeah. Watching people do tutorials on how to make the audio sound better or how to make like this transition smoother or whatever. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
That's how I learned how to edit in Lightroom too back in high school. I paid to get the program, and then I just looked up tutorials on YouTube, and that's how I learned. So
there you go.
But yeah, there's also things you need to go to college for. Just what we did You didn't really need to. There are so many questions about kids.
Yeah.
It's like every other question.
For real.
You guys. We do.
Hint taken.
Okay, well, I'll answer this one. What's the ideal number of kids you both want?
2.
I've always wanted 2. I always just grew up with one brother, so I don't know. I feel like what you grow up with is what you kind of picture yourself having. So I've always pictured just myself having like a boy and a girl.
Yeah, and I
More
picture
so
that too.
a boy though for some reason.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. And when we were just on that Pureveda trip, remember we were sitting at the picnic table and everybody was talking about like baby someday, and everyone was saying like, "Oh, Bryce, I can picture you as a girl dad."
Yeah,
and
I'm a girl dad and Hailey's a boy mom.
That was the verdict of the table. Everyone said that. So I don't know. We'll see someday. I'll literally be happy with
that means
whatever comes out. What?
That sounds so funny. Here, I gotta answer this because I have
so many kids questions. Literally, it was like 10 in a row.
Yeah. I have 10 in a row of Carson asking me if Bryce likes rice, or is your name Bryce likes rice? And did you know Bryce likes rice is my fave pro energy drink drinker?
Oh my gosh.
So Carson, yes, I do like rice, and I'm a pro energy drinker.
Carson is one of our friends, so, and all he comments on your post is Bryce likes rice.
So good.
In the future, will you be thrifting your kids' clothes?
100%. Hailey already has a huge tote full of thrifted children's clothes.
Actually, where did my accent come from?
Actually.
I have a... There was actually a... Don't leave that in.
I'm going to.
There was actually a comment earlier, too, that I saw if we have any of our childhood, like clothes or toys or blankets, like stuff from your childhood.
Yeah.
And that ties into that tote that Bryce just said. Like, I have a full-on tote with just, like, a bunch of clothes that I had when I was a kid, and definitely have, like, a few toys, too. But then I have collected literally since we started dating.
Yeah.
Even before we started dating.
The collection's been growing.
Bryce, I've been collecting. I've already thrifted stuff for probably 10 years.
A little burp in there.
I know.
It's making you burpy, Peach.
There's no carbonation in this coffee.
That's weird. Another one that kind of ties into that about thrifting, someone said, like, do you think you could thrift all of your clothes for a year and not buy any new clothes or something? And I was going to say, like, we kind of thrift more than buying new clothes already.
Yeah. Honestly, my wardrobe would be 100% secondhand or thrifted if it wasn't for, like, because now that I work with brands and I get sent just random packages from brands, I do get sent, like, a lot of clothes.
Yeah.
And that's probably the majority of, like, the newer clothes that I get.
For sure.
Actually, I get stuff at Target. I walk out of Target with a clothing item every time I go in there.
So could you go without new clothes from Target for a year?
Yeah, if I just didn't walk in the store at all. Because they are smart with how they place their store. You walk in, there's Starbucks. You're like, ooh, I'm going to get a coffee. And then you walk out of Starbucks, and there's the clothes. And you're like, oh, that's cute. And then you're stuck in there for an hour.
That's why I don't go to Target.
Yeah, I just went there yesterday.
Did you get anything?
Yeah, I got 2 dresses. But I could live off of my thrifted clothes. You guys saw my Clawfist tour, probably, and a lot of those clothes are still clothes that, like, I had when I was in middle school. Some of the stuff I thrifted, like, I thrifted all the time growing up, and I've held on to some of those pieces. Like, I got these overalls when I was in high school, and they were at Goodwill in the Halloween section. I got them for, like, $3, and I was like, ooh, those are kind of cool, corduroy. Okay, I'm going on and on about clothes. Yeah. I could talk about it.
Next question, you queue it up. I'm going to check the camera, though, make sure it's still recording. I'm going to stop and start it, actually. Alright, quick re-record of the camera so it doesn't turn off.
I like this one. It's so all over. Top 5 musical artists, cheeses, and national parks.
So is it 5 of each or 5 just with those things?
Probably 5 of each, but let's just like spitfire a few.
5 favorite cheeses?
5 favorite musical artists? We have 21 Pilots on repeat. Their new album just dropped.
That's
so
pretty sick.
That's really good. I love the sound. It's so, like, it's a lot happier.
Yeah. Goth Babe. Goth Babe's rad.
Always on repeat.
His music's super good. I think that was a question that I had, like, what was my favorite song by him? And I don't even think I could pick a favorite. I just, like, shuffle them all, and they're all, like, good vibes.
Yeah.
Get you stoked.
We did say a national park earlier, Zion.
What other national park?
Grand Tetons. Those are my favorite Teton.
Your favorite
Those
Teton?
are my favorite mountains in the world. We've been to Switzerland, and and the Tetons are still my favorite.
Those are my favorite Tetons.
If you don't know why they're called Tetons, look it up.
That's really funny.
Cheeses.
I'm just gonna say mozzarella because it's on pizza.
I thought you were gonna be like in the can.
Yeah, like the squirt cheese. No.
I love string cheese.
Yeah, Hailey's a big string cheeser.
But the smoked kind.
Smoked like mozzarella, isn't it? Smoked mozzarella.
Yeah. The most cheese that I buy are little mozzarella pearls. I love goat cheese. I've been really on a like tomato basil goat cheese kick. Love it.
Go.
Like crumble that on your avocado toast or on your salad and
So what was that? That was like 2 of each. So that's top 6 of 3 different categories. Best. Oh, go for it.
No, I was just gonna say someone accidentally typed Bruce instead of Bryce. If you ever type Bryce on your phone, it auto corrects it to like Bruce. I don't know why. Yeah. But what were you gonna pick?
I was gonna say best pizza joint you've been to.
Everywhere we went in New York.
Yeah, super good.
And our backyard when Bryce makes pizza.
Yeah, Scar's Pizza in New York is probably the best pizza I've had.
Get yourself some friends that really know what's up with pizza because that's what we have. And they have given us all the best pizza places to go to.
Shout out Lex and Lauren.
We have shouted them out so many times. But they honestly, they know what's up with
They're also the
food.
reason that we started making pizza at home. Because we went to their house, they made pizza there, in their rad pizza oven.
That sparked a fire in you.
Yeah, and I became a pizza nerd. So,
yeah.
Shout out.
They're the best. I miss them. I actually had a question from her too earlier. I thought I saw one from her. It was like, when are you guys going to come visit us?
Hopefully soon.
I know. Their kids are growing up so quick.
I know. So crazy.
Do we have any travel plans for 2021? Road trips in the U.S., going to Europe? Yeah, Europe just opened up.
Really?
It's so weird to think about, like, traveling that far, though.
Yeah, that's kind of gnarly.
I just feel like I'm in this state of life where, like, I don't know, I just, like,
stick around home.
Yeah, just camp in Minnesota, like, not go too far.
Yeah. We do have some road trip plans, but you'll have to stay tuned for those. That's coming up in September, right?
Yep. We are cooking up a really fun road trip plan with 2 other couples. And
so, yeah, we'll probably vlog that whole experience.
For sure.
You guys will see that coming up.
That's at the end of the summer.
But yeah, other than that, we just have some camping spots lined up in Minnesota. And
yeah, camping is like... Everyone is camping because, you know, everyone's just excited to get back outside. So, I had to jump on the reservations early this year. So, we do have camping reservations just here in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And I am actually going to, the only travel plan I have is I'm going to Miami by myself in June here. And that's for Pureveda. We have a photo shoot going on there. And it's going to be so weird traveling without you.
Yeah. I don't know if... I'm trying to think of the last time I traveled without you. That's even more weird.
Like, we always travel together. I'm going to be, like, lost. I'm going to be like, where do I go?
Oh, I was like, the traveling thing threw me off, but I was going to tie this one into that travel plans. Would you ever do a canoeing trip in the Boundary Waters?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I used my hiking boot and I kicked the seat.
Yeah, we actually have gone to the Boundary Waters one other time and did a canoe trip.
So much fun.
And stayed there for like 2 or 3 nights or something like that. Super, super good time. We definitely go again.
Yeah, that's such a fun experience. And we did not film that. We had, like, it was a camera-free, phone-free trip, just out in the boonies.
Yeah, I was actually just talking about that with my brother. He wants to do, like, a ice camping trip in the winter in the Boundary Waters. So you, like, pull a sled with all your gear, and then you camp on the ice.
Scary.
He said he was watching something and someone was talking about just, like, the silence you experience, like, in the middle of the Boundary Waters with just, like, nothing around. It's like...
spooky.
No, like, just so peaceful and amazing.
Like, I would hear one twig crack and I'd be like, wolf. There's wolves up there. When we did the Boundary Waters canoe trip, like, you canoe to all these little islands and only, like, one group can camp on islands. Like, they're very small islands. Mm-hmm. And I just said islands so many times. But when we were sleeping, we could hear wolves just, like, howling around.
That's pretty cool.
And then I was thinking, like, well, we're on an island. They can't get us. And then the next morning, we're paddling away from our island to go to a different one. And we pass another canoe, and the people are like, don't go to this one. We just got chased off by a bear. And they're, like, leaving this one.
And it was a really small island.
And I'm like, wait, there's bears on these little islands? And I'm like, oh, duh, they can swim, too.
That's a far ways to swim, though.
That's kind of crazy. But yeah.
You got another one?
Do you divide house chores?
Not intentionally, but we do, like...
Yeah, we kind of do, naturally. Like, we each have our own things that we just enjoy to do.
I'd say, like...
Or not really enjoy, but...
one day, like, I'll wake up and feel like, oh, our house is kind of messy, and I'll just, like, clean everything, and then Hailey will do that a different day. Like, we both, like, kind of come in waves of being in, like, a cleaning mood.
Yeah, like, you're kind of more, the floor guy, like, you like vacuuming and getting that done, and I do, like, laundry.
Yeah, Hailey, I don't do laundry hardly ever, because Hailey got a new washer and dryer, and she doesn't really let me.
That was the first thing I purchased. Like, as we were moving into this house, I'm like, we're gonna get a brand new washer and dryer. And that's when you know you're an adult, when you're just so excited to get a washer and dryer. But, okay. Next. Thank you. Next.
I feel like I've been talking so much, I'm starting to lose steam. I gotta
clear our throat.
Take another drink of this Red Bull, and we'll answer...
Thanks for all the great questions.
Yeah, there's so many.
I wish we could answer every single one.
What's the best part of being married?
Looking at your face every day. What was that?
I don't know. Something fell or broke or something. Not surprised in the bus, but... Best part of being married is...
For real?
Going to sleep every night next to the love of your life. Waking up next to her. Spending the day with her on
You're
adventures.
Gonna make me cry.
Everyday life. The small things, the big things. And yeah, just doing it all together.
Sweet. Yeah.
Does that work?
I'm speechless.
Next question?
Oh, you just made me nervous.
Why?
Let's turn the camera off.
No. That's the second time you've said that.
Okay, next.
Next.
Ooh. If you weren't in the industry you're currently in, what would you be doing?
We'd probably still be filming weddings, but I guess that's kind of in the same industry of, like, photo, video stuff.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't photo, video
if
stuff...
we had nothing, like, photo or video related, like, cameras did not exist.
Whoa. I feel like I would want to either have, like, a restaurant or, like, have a shop where I work on, like, not necessarily just VW buses, but, like, old motorcycles and stuff like that. Kind of like...
I've always pictured you doing
kind of like a little specialty shop where it's, like, cool things. Like, that's the only criteria. We only work on cool things. Like, if you come in there with, like, a 2018 car... We're like, sorry. But if you come in anything that's like 30 years old, it's like...
No offense to anybody with a 2018
come on
car.
Yeah, no offense, but...
What is our newest car?
2003.
2003.
So it's still like 18 years old.
So crazy.
That's wild.
I would probably... It's my dream to have my own little vintage clothing shop. And I still, like... I have this weird feeling that it will happen someday.
One day?
Yeah.
Well,
I would need to know where to, like, to start it, but I want to do, like, a clothing shop or a cool like pop-up shop, even if it's not like a storefront yet. Like having a old camper flipped into a pop-up shop on wheels.
That'd be so cool.
Just selling vintage clothes and that'd be so fun. I get so inspired when I think about that stuff, so maybe someday.
For sure. I got one here. Will you guys ever be doing a meet and greet?
I would love to.
Sure.
With my pop-up shop.
Yeah. It'd be sick to like meet up at like a park or a skate park and do like a barbecue or something.
You've talked about that plenty of times.
Yeah,
too.
I think that'd be super sick. But like
a skate park meetup.
But like where? You know, we live 2 hours from Minneapolis. Like that's kind of central in Minnesota. So if we did like a Minnesota meetup, like, I don't know, comment below if we do a meetup where we should do it.
Or remember one time we were just thinking of this cool idea where we would map out a road trip and we would pick like designated spots where we could just meet up with people. Like whoever shows up would just come and hang.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
So comment below if you'd be down to hang or do a little meetup on a road trip
Let us
in
know
Minnesota.
What cities we should hit up if we do that someday.
What states we should cruise through on the road trip.
That'd be so fun.
That would be sick.
Oh, I want to do that.
You got another one?
What's your favorite thing to do together?
Everything. I don't know.
Like, not everything.
We'll not go to Target, but everything else.
I wish you went to Target with me.
I don't know. Just be outside. Go new places.
My favorite thing is camping with you.
Yeah, camping is super fun.
We actually just went camping. And we had intentions of, like, vlogging the whole thing. And we got there, and we were just really just enjoying it to ourselves.
Never took the camera out of the backpack once.
Yeah. And it was nice. Like, sorry you didn't get to be there with us. But it was just so fun to just be present for those 4 days camping with you.
3 days, yeah.
Oh, so fun.
It was really nice.
I love
Definitely recommend just camping, getting out in nature with someone you love, a friend, anyone.
You're so tender and cute today. Every day.
Every day.
Well, I said today, and that makes it sound like it's not all the time, but you are nice all the time.
When is there going to be a skate park in your backyard? Well, hopefully soon.
Are you going to break the news?
Because we ordered a mini ramp.
Woo!
So there's this company called Keen Ramps, and they do like pre-built mini ramps.
Not sponsored, but I wish.
Yeah, I've been following them for a really long time, and just like they have a YouTube channel. They do like skate trick tips and stuff, and they're just all really cool dudes, all skater owned. And I was kind of like looking into building a mini ramp, and wood prices are super high. So for us to build one, it's going to be expensive no matter what. So I just like went with these guys. It's all pre-built, planned out. Holes are pre-drilled, and we even upgraded, got skate light so it'll be weatherproof.
Because we live in Minnesota and we have all 4 seasons.
Yeah, so we definitely need a ramp that's gonna like stand up to the elements here in Minnesota. So that's kind of the route we went, and stoked to support just like a rad skater owned company. But yeah, we don't really know when it's gonna show up, so stay tuned for the build video of that and us skating it.
So excited.
Hailey's really stoked.
I've been bringing it up every day since winter stopped.
Every day since we got this house.
Yeah, basically. And I was just out on our deck one morning, like having my coffee, and Bryce came out and he's like, "Did you check your phone?" I saw that an email popped up, and I looked, and he forwarded the confirmation email to my phone, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, so
stay tuned.
The backyard skate park is coming.
It's coming.
We're really ripping through these, huh?
Yeah.
You got another one? Here's another one on the skateboard topic. One says we should do mukbangs, so we should be eating during this.
Isn't every vlog a mukbang?
Yeah, all of our vlogs are eating.
I feel like we're always eating something.
Here, answer this one.
What is your advice for getting into skateboarding from Hailey's perspective as a girl? That's hard, because it's intimidating being a girl at a skate park. I know firsthand, but just don't think about what other people are thinking about you. Just get in your own bubble and just practice. Like, it is weird when you roll up to a skate park and if it's busy and there's people all around, like, you're just thinking, like, oh, I don't want to, like, fall in front of all these people. But honestly, I've just had to learn to, like, get in my own bubble, just practice my own thing. Everybody had to start somewhere.
For sure. That's what I always tell people is, like, you can't just roll up first time at the skate park ever and just be what you're hoping to be. You got to build your way up. And I think I had another question on, like, tips to, like, get better at skateboarding. And it's just time. Just time on your skateboard, pushing around. You don't necessarily have to, like, think, oh, I got to do tricks. I got to do ollie, like, kickflip, whatever, right away. Just get comfy on your board. Push around the perimeter of the park. Go to a parking lot. Cruise around. Find, like, a trail or whatever. And just get comfy on your board. Because that's, like, the base of everything.
Yeah.
Like, you could kickflip, ollie, do tricks, but then, like, push around and feel, like, super uncomfortable. And that's really the funnest part, is cruising around. So
yeah. Or if you really just don't want to start at a skate park, go find an empty parking lot or something. You know, you can go find just open spots of concrete where you can just practice by yourself and just get comfortable, like Bryce was saying. Another thing that I have learned from Bryce is to not be so hard on myself if I'm not getting a trick that I really want to get. Like, it's so easy to just get kind of frustrated and, like, just stop and give up. But he'll literally be practicing a single trick for 3 hours at the park and just keeps going. Even he's, like, probably getting frustrated, but he just doesn't give up on it. And I think that's really cool. So,
yeah, and I always like to remind Hailey that,
perseverance.
Like, when I was younger and started skateboarding and I was trying kickflip or ollie or whatever, like, I didn't do it right away.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up if you're not landing it
years to do a kickflip and, like, years to do the next trick.
And it's currently taking me years to get the kickflip. I've been so close for, like, going on a couple years now. Yeah. And I haven't been skating as much as I have in the past, but it's like, yeah, it's crazy. It does take time and practice.
Yeah. So
just like everything that you have to learn.
Keep pushing and eventually it'll come.
Someone asked how old we are.
27.
I'm 26.
Oh, it feels...
We're both closer to 30 than we are to 20.
I was thinking about that. I was over halfway to 50 the other day.
That's wild. I'm stoked to be old with you though.
Yeah.
We're gonna be cool old people.
Well, I saw a question on here too, like what does your future look like in, like, 20 years or something, or where do you see yourself in 20 years?
I don't even know how to answer.
I'm like, I see myself as 3 years away from 50. Holy smokes!
Oh my gosh.
Hopefully I'm still at the skate park. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Sick. Well, yeah. Hopefully
Do you think we'll still be vlogging?
We filled up an SD card with all these questions already.
We're talking so much.
Mid-sentence. But yeah, if we're vlogging at 50, that'll be pretty cool. We'll have to insert us at 27.
This clip.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, old Hailey and Bryce.
Hope you guys are still having fun.
Hope you find your dad. Okay, next question. What was your first date?
Was it that time on the trail?
Yeah, our first one-on-one date. You had the whole day planned, and it was all surprise activities that I had no idea. So you had me just meet up with you at our bike trail, and we went skateboarding down the trail together, and then we just, like, I remember us stopping at one point in the trail and just sitting on our boards.
Talking for hours.
Talked for so long. And then after that, what did we do after that?
It's hard to remember.
I feel like we probably
it was like a list.
Yeah, we, like, had food or something. We went, like, had lunch. I remember, like, closer to the evening, you had the car, like, all packed up in the back with, like, blankets and pillows, and you drove me out to, like, this random cool, like, wooded area, and we had a movie night. You whipped out your laptop.
But then we got a knock, and we had to leave because the park was closed.
It was, like, a park. Yeah, he had, like, pulled his laptop open. He had pre-downloaded, what was it, Tangled?
Yeah, we were gonna watch Tangled.
That's so cute. So we were, like, starting the movie, and then we got a little window knock that we had to leave.
Probably thought we were doing something else. We're just watching a
we
movie.
were watching Tangled. We were very innocent.
But yeah, that was a good first date.
Yeah, that was so fun. And then we went, after that, since we had to leave, you drove, like, out in the middle of nowhere, pulled up next to a cornfield, and then we were in his, like, old Jeep Cherokee, and he pulled up towards, like, headlights facing into the corn, and had his headlights on, turned his car off, and he's like...
Oh, yeah.
What did you say?
If I turn my car off with the headlights on, and then I turn the headlights off, they stay on for, like, 20 seconds or something.
Yeah, there's only a certain amount of time that they stay on.
So I, like, turned them off, and I was like, follow me. So they're going to be on for 20 seconds. And
next thing I know,
run into the corn.
Out of the car, just bolting into the cornfield, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm terrified right now. So I'm like, I'm not going to stay in the car by myself. So I start following him, and we're running into the corn, and then all of a sudden those headlights turned off, and it's like pitch black, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I catch up to Bryce, and it was something out of a horror movie. I just see Bryce standing there with, like, I just am facing his back, and he's just standing still. Like, he's not running anymore, he's just standing still looking at something, and my stomach dropped, and I'm like, what's happening? And I go up next to him, and all of a sudden, there's just this big open, like, crop circle in the field. It's just this open circle in the middle of this cornfield. And we're like, whoa, that's kind of weird. And then we ended up just, like, hanging out in that crop circle. And the stars were so bright that night.
Yeah, it was super cool.
And there was a thunderstorm, like, off in the distance. So we could see, like, lightning on the horizon. And the stars were really bright. And then you kissed me. And there was... literal, oh my gosh.
The cat's on the roof now. Update.
Update on this cat. I wish you guys could
Oh,
be
he's gonna leap.
this.
He's gonna leap.
How did the cat
Should I try to
get
film
on?
him?
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone. He's out of sight.
Heck? Now the cat was on top of a garage across the alley. That's an adventurous cat. Lou needs to get on that level. Actually, no, he does not.
No.
We don't want him.
Back to the craziest part of this story when we kissed.
He kissed me, and then there was fireworks on the other opposite side of the circle. So there was a lightning storm.
Fireworks. Stars. Kissing.
It was something out of a movie. That's how that day ended.
Can't make this up.
Yeah. It was insane. I remember at the time I would, like, always journal our dates, and I have that one fully journaled out. It was great.
Afterwards, I was, like, by myself just thinking about, like, how crazy that was. I was like, huh, that's wild that worked out that way, and there was all that stuff going on. In the moment I told her, I'm like, oh yeah, I planned the fireworks and stuff. I'm like...
Are you not? But then when we went back to your car, do you remember we just laid on top of your Jeep with a blanket to look up at the stars longer? And then we thought we were seeing UFOs.
Yeah,
because
they were like satellites.
I think they were satellites, but they were just like these random, they look like star orb things, and they were just like moving in weird directions.
Well, we thought they were UFOs because we just walked from the crop circle back to the car, so we're like, oh, those are UFOs.
So weird. We went from watching Tangled in the woods to making out in a crop circle.
Crazy times.
I put my phone away. Whoops.
Yeah, I did too, and I lost all the questions. I gotta go back.
Alright, I'll find one while you do it. There's a couple questions asking what my favorite film is, and I've always shot with Kodak Gold 200, and I love that film. But then for my birthday recently, Bryce got me Portra 400, or no, Portra 200, 100.
I don't even know what it is.
Like portrait film.
I feel like it was like a wrong version of the film she wanted.
I think Portrait 400 is like the really popular
That's
one.
what she wanted, but I got 100.
Yeah, it was 100.
For some reason.
But it's turned out really, really good. And the first time I shot on it was when we went to Hawaii this year. So I have Portrait and then Ektar film. And
the Ektar is sick.
The Ektar is really, really pretty. I love the colors in that. So those are kind of like the three that I've ever really shot with.
Has Hailey had braces? That's a quick one.
Yes, I've had braces. I think I got them when I was 14 or 15, probably 15. Yeah, and I had them for 2 years. This front tooth used to be completely sideways, like covering, like overlapping the tooth next to it. So, yeah, they really straightened out.
There you go.
As they should when you have braces.
Another one I just saw was, where is Bryce's pizza oven from?
Ooh.
If you want to find the pizza oven, I actually have an affiliate link. So I get a little kickback if you guys get it through my link. But you can go to my Instagram and click the link in my bio, and there should be like a little tab that says pizza oven. Click that if you're into it.
Bryce doesn't link often, but when he does,
it has to do with pizza.
Pizza or skateboards or Cambros.
There's so many.
There's a lot
kids.
where people are asking if we drink. We do, but not all the time.
Yeah, once in a while, a beer feels right in the moment. When I'm out wrenching on the bus, I'm like, I need to have a beer right now.
And was buying a home super stressful? Not really. I mean, we're first-time home buyers, so whatever stress kind of came along with. I think the most stress I felt was just like how long we had to wait to find the house. Because once we made the conscious decision that we wanted to be done renting and we wanted to buy a house of our own, like in my head, I when I am ready for something, I'm like, okay, tomorrow. But it ended up taking us at least a full year to find the house, and yeah. So the patience was maybe my stressful
portion of it.
Yeah. So the patience was probably where maybe some of my stress stemmed from. But
yeah, but other than that,
the buying process was very quick and smooth. Shout out to our realtor, Brandon.
Yeah, I was going to say shout out, Brandon. But yeah, it just, finding a house is kind of stressful just in general.
And
so
the
like,
housing market last year, it still is crazy.
Yeah,
but
it's
last
pretty
year,
brutal.
At the start of the year, we actually did find a house. Like the first house we ever made an offer on, it ended up falling through, and that was hard to swallow because I was
then every
like,
house we saw after that wasn't as good as that one that fell through.
And that's when all the houses started to like jump in price. So nothing compared to that first house at the beginning of 2020. But then fast forward to the end of 2020, this house that we bought popped up, and we were like, oh my gosh, this is perfect.
Meant to be.
Yeah, we decided to make the offer, and like the next day we found out that we got it. So it was very quick and great. Yeah.
Pretty smooth after you get an offer accepted, for the most part, if you kind of check all your boxes and just kind of follow what the realtor says.
And if you're currently looking for a house, just hang in there. The right one will come along. It is quite a process, but you got this.
I found one here that says, how do y'all find time for your adventures as well as being able to afford everything? So our schedule is pretty set based on our own
we make our own schedules.
Yeah, that's a better way to say what I was trying to say.
Because we're self-employed, so we, if we have deadlines for certain projects, certain things we have to shoot, we do plan our schedules according to that. But for the most part, if we get that work done, we have
free time. And then if we're choosing to travel on our own, usually we'll go on like a road trip, which is more cost effective than flying somewhere for a vacation or whatnot.
Even though flights are pretty cheap right now.
Yeah, but then when we do fly somewhere, usually it's for work. And we'll work, and then sometimes we'll extend our stay to kind of like take advantage of being able to be in a new place for a little bit.
Yeah, and just enjoy it a little bit longer.
Yeah, so I guess that's how we find time for adventures and try to afford stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of traveling is tied into our work a little bit, so that helps.
For the most part, when we fly places, it's work related, and like he said, we extend that work trip so that we can have a little bit more time to ourselves afterwards, and that's how we managed to like when we went to Hawaii, we were there for a work trip, but then we were all the way in Hawaii, so we're like, well, we're obviously gonna stay a little bit longer.
Yeah, so we're definitely blessed with that being part of our job description.
Because we don't really just get up and go fly places willy-nilly.
Yeah, not too often.
We are more so road trip people, so.
Yeah. How about this one? Scariest thing you've done?
Skydiving.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, that was very recent, and that was very scary, but so worth it. And I have told Bryce, like, I think that's a one and done thing for me, because it was like so perfect and like in the most beautiful place that you could skydive, and it was everything just like worked so great and nothing went wrong. I'm like, I'm good. I had that great experience. I'm good.
And I want to get certified.
Yeah, that was his second time doing it, and now he's just like, I want to get certified and go do it on my own. And I'm like, okay. Are you guys Christians? Yes. Yeah. I love Jesus.
Same.
What can you play on guitar? Oh man, I am like so up and down with guitar. Like I've learned it and then had to relearn it so many times. But
I feel like you can still pick up a guitar or like even just sit down at the drums and like play cool stuff.
Yeah,
like
I don't know very many specific. Like I know some chords and I just like to sit down and just like make little things up that sound cool. I don't really know songs start to finish. Actually, I do know one of Monsters and Men song. But that's fun to play on the banjo. Or like my brother has like a guitar / banjo, so it's like a five string. But it sounds like the same. Anyway.
Advice for starting YouTube. Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Literally. We started our channel. If you scroll all the way down to our first video.
I mean, don't, but if you do.
We just got a notification. Somebody just recently commented on that and said, happy 6-year YouTube anniversary. And I was like, has it been 6 years?
Yeah, we've been doing YouTube for 6 years. That's crazy.
And so I clicked on it and then I ended up watching that video. And it was just something, we literally filmed it on our iPhone. It was just, all of our first videos were just when we first started dating and we had lots of footage on our phones and we're like, oh, let's just make little fun edits so that we can look back on it someday. And that's literally what I just did.
I'd say that's the best reason to start it. If you're wanting to look back on memories from, you know, like the past year or 10 years from now or whatever, that's a great reason to start documenting. It's
so cool to rewatch just even a just normal everyday video that you make in your hometown, or if you do go camping or something, like watching it back a couple years down the road. It's so fun. Like I find myself watching our old travel videos and just being like, whoa, like
we did that.
Yeah, I remember some things that I kind of forgot we did.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like a video diary.
Just jump right in. You'll appreciate the memories down the road.
And don't care too much about what other people are going to think about it, really. Like, just document for yourself. That's why we always call these, like, our home movies, because we treat them that way.
Yeah. What's your next house renovation project?
Oh,
well,
I really want our upstairs bathroom.
Yeah. Hailey wants to redo the bathroom. We've kind of shifted gears to outside. We got to stain.
Because it's been so nice out.
We have to stain the deck. We have to prep for a mini ramp.
Yeah.
Got to kind of do some landscaping stuff around the yard and like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the outside, I want to like get it looking nice, feeling nice for summer, so we can spend lots of time and just like, But
we've really shifted to outdoor mode.
But the next big inside project will probably be like the bathroom, and possibly we have like that pantry room you saw us like demo.
Oh yeah, in the last video, right?
Yeah, in the last video you saw the guy,
the AC guy that was fixing our AC. Like he was that little clip where all the insulation is like coming out of our ceiling. That's gonna be our kitchen pantry.
Yeah, so we gotta put that all together, and then we'll have some extra space in the kitchen.
But yeah, we have really cool inspirations for our kitchen. I can't wait to renovate the kitchen.
All in time.
Yes, and when we do, you guys will definitely see it.
For sure.
Just be patient.
You got another one? Let's do 3 more questions. We're kind of doing a bunch, so.
Yeah. How did you get started designing with Pureveda? So, it started with just me. What year was it? So it's been like 3 or 4 years now that I've like worked with them, and it just started off with us shooting photos of their products. We did that we gave them photos like every month for almost a year, and they just loved working with us so much that it kind of built into this idea that they're like, hey, we have this idea of you designing your own bracelet pack, calling it the Dreaming Out Loud pack, and I was like, oh my gosh, like that's so sick. Designing a bracelet pack of my own with a company I love, that was just like, I was so excited. So, yeah, we did that, and then that was the very first Dreaming Out Loud bracelet pack that has like the little sunflower And the first year that they were selling them, they did really well. So then a year later, they were like, hey, the first one did so great. We would love to do a second pack. So then I got to design a second one.
Pack after pack.
Yeah. And that kind of built into like 3 years in a row. I did 2 bracelet packs and then a jewelry set where I had like a necklace and a ring and an ear cuff. So it's just been the most fun journey, and I just love my Pureveda fam. So yeah, it all just started with us shooting photos for them. And it grew and grew. And they are one of my favorite companies that I've worked with to this day.
Here's one. Do you have any stories about being stranded when on an adventure?
Oh, that's a good
I
question.
feel like we kind of have quite a few. Like, we have a lot of breakdown stories.
Yeah. Well, on our West Coast road trip, we were going down Big Sur, and then we were sleeping. We just, like, there was nowhere to camp, really, so we just pulled off on the side of a road and just slept in our van, and then we woke up the next morning to a flat tire.
But then we had a spare, so I took the tire off, took the cover off the spare, and the spare was more jacked than our flat tire, and I'm like, oh, cool. So then I take the tire, and I'm kind of examining where the hole is or whatever, and I find that there's a nail in the tire. So I fill it with air, and I can hear it leaking out, and then I take a hammer, tap the nail in a little bit more until I kind of hear the air slow down.
Very innovative.
Put the tire back on, cruise to a gas station, like 50 miles later.
If you've been in Big Sur, like, there are no gas stations around. Like, yeah, we were kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
So we cruised to a gas station, probably 50, 60 miles later.
Which I'm shocked we made it that far.
Super glued around the nail so that it kind of like held the air in a little bit better. And then we continued our road trip all the way down to like San Diego, and then all the way back to Minnesota with the nail in our tire.
You just occasionally had to fill the tire, top it off with air, but we got all the way back to Minnesota, back to our house with that same tire.
I was going to say, that's more of a almost being stranded story.
Yeah,
we weren't stranded.
We weren't stranded for that long.
A stranded story would be
that road trip still.
When our brakes went out and we were in, where was it? Seattle for 2 or 3 days. We were pulling into Seattle and our brakes go out at this stoplight, and I have to like run a red light and turn, and we like
that was so scary.
Camped 3-van convoy in this like no parking zone for 2 days
because that was like the only place we could just roll our van to, and somehow we managed to not get any parking tickets. I'm surprised.
And then like a day or two later, we got an appointment to get our brakes fixed like a mile down the road. Got them fixed, and then also I changed the starter on the van in the parking lot, and then we were good to go. Wild. Cruise the rest of the road trip.
So all of our stranded stories are linked to that trip. But yeah, we were in our 86?
86?
Van?
88.
88. Yeah. 1988 Ford Econoline van.
Yeah.
And
we also have stranded stories in this.
We have all the videos on our channel from that trip if you haven't already seen it.
I was going to say we have stranded story in this too, when we tried to drive to the West Coast in the bus right after I rebuilt the motor the first time.
Yeah, we were very ambitious.
We made it to Bismarck, and we were stranded in Bismarck with a broken Volkswagen motor for, what was it, like 3 or 4 days? Mm-hmm. And then we had to wait a couple days because our AAA hadn't kicked in. And then we used like all 3 of our 100-mile tows like in 3 consecutive days. And then we made it close to home, and my dad came and picked us up on the trailer.
That was
a wild one. We didn't document any of that, but
I feel like we were just like so. We didn't think anything was gonna go wrong. That was the first time. Like, that was the first time you got this bus running. You maybe drove it around of town like for a day.
I maybe drove like 30 miles.
And you're like, it's good to go. Let's go to California. And oh my gosh.
We didn't make it.
We overpacked this thing. Like, we had so much
The whole floor was covered.
Like, I feel like the bus was like sitting so low to the ground because it was just, there was so much in here.
And we didn't have this folding bed set up in here. We were just going to sleep on the ground on like blankets and stuff. So
I love that we were so ambitious though.
Yeah, makes for good stories and memories. What was that? 2 questions? 1 more?
Yeah, let me just...
Well, I got one from Trav right here. Maybe we'll do a couple more. Who's your biggest inspiration?
Biggest inspiration? That's like really hard to answer.
Hailey.
Oh, you're so sweet. Okay.
I was also gonna say, just like, I don't know. I find inspiration in lots of different ways, whether it's photos or videos I watch, but also just in like everyday life of like our friends, like our close friends. Like everyone is good at something or everything. So like you can take inspiration from someone just like doing really good at their job and like they're like, oh yeah, I just got a promotion or whatever.
Just when anyone's like passionate about what they're doing, you're just like, whoa. Yeah. Like you feel inspired.
Or like even Trav, who asked the question, like seeing him at the skate park with his boys, just like cruising around, like being a rad dad. You're like, oh, that's like sick and like.
That's so true.
Yeah, so it's easy to take inspiration from people that are close to you. I think.
I agree.
All right, how about one more? Pick a good one.
Okay, I like this one. What was your first impressions of each other?
Oh, that's a good one to end it on.
Yeah, we'll end it on that one. Shout out to Elise.
My first impression of Hailey was probably that she was just like real cool. I don't know.
I thought you were so cool. I was like, I'm just like this homeschool girl. But did I have braces when you first met me?
I think so. But also, I first saw you at the state fair and you had red shoes.
Not the state fair. It was our
Not state fair. County fair. Good
Way
correction.
Smaller.
Way smaller scale. But yeah, I just like saw her and I was like, oh, I haven't really seen her before type of thing.
Oh
and I'm like, oh, red shoes? Like, never even seen a girl wearing red shoes.
I remember seeing you at that fair.
I was like, why am I so into that she's wearing red shoes?
Red shoes.
That was a weird thing, but then I'm like, oh yeah. And then it just like was in my memory. I'm like, cute girl, red shoes. Like, yeah, she's cool.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Yeah, and I bought her red shoes as a gift recently after that.
Oh my gosh.
That's super strange.
Yeah, that's really funny. that ties into just our whole complicated story. But
what was your first impression of me?
Well,
oh, look at this nerd.
From my side of it, I was at that fair with like my one friend, and I remember we were standing around this crew of people, and I was like getting introduced to everybody. But then, yeah, I saw you, and you were so cool. Like, you were just this really cool, like, skater boy. I was like, oh, he's so cute. But, yeah, you had a girlfriend, and I don't know. I just always thought that Bryce was, like, out of my league kind of thing.
And I thought the same of Hailey. I was like, oh, she's out of my league.
Which still blows my mind, because I was not cool.
And now we're together, out of each other's leagues.
Aw. Forever. Aw. Alright,
Was that it? We wrapped up this Q&A?
I know, I feel talked out.
My armpits are sweating.
Me too. It's kind of warm in here now.
Alright, well, I think we're going to wrap this up here. Obviously, we've talked quite a bit. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little Q&A session.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us in the bus.
Yeah.
Props to you if you watched the entire thing.
Yeah, who knows how long this is.
Maybe you learned a thing or two about us.
Hopefully the camera's still going, but yeah, I guess we'll see you guys in the next one. I was like seatbelting you in.
I'm ready to go.
All right.
See ya.
Later.